I'm Jennifer Runyon from RenewableEnergyWorld.com. I'm here in Solar Central on day 2 of SPI 2012, and I'm really excited to talk to these two people. I have Sam Park, a solar entrepreneur, and Rachel Tronstein from the DOE. Rachel's going to tell us a little bit about a really exciting initiative that DOE has come out with. It's actually already started, but I don't think it's gotten a whole lot of press yet. So it is called the SunShotPrize, America's most affordable rooftop solar competition. So, Rachel, why don't you start by telling us what this is all about?
Fantastic. Well, today we are launching what we're calling our Race to the Rooftops. And that is a $10 million prize for the first 3 teams that can install solar energy on homes and businesses at $1 a watt for soft costs, which would be very transformational in the U.S. market.
Absolutely, would be transformational. So tell me about the impetus for the competition. I mean, it sounds like the X Prize.
It does, intentionally so. When you look at the pricing in the U.S. market today, currently soft costs, so everything that's not hardware, costs a lot more than the actual modules itself. We are trying to address that and reverse this trend, which is similar to what's happened in other mature solar markets we've seen, like Germany. So this is trying to put us on an accelerated course. So by 2015, those soft costs cost less, ultimately, than your hardware costs.
Okay, so why don't we just backtrack a little bit. Sure. Soft costs are permitting and labor. Anything else?
Absolutely. It's everything that isn't hardware. It's permitting, financing, labor, inspection, all the squishy stuff.
Okay.
That you don't see.
All right. So why a competition?
We're really trying to draw on the innovation in the U.S. market and elicit teams of different organizations in the U.S. that could help drive down costs. And we think a competition is a unique way to spur innovation in this space.
All right. Now, specifically, what do teams have to do?
Specifically, teams by 2015 have to install 5,000 installations with an average price, just for the soft costs, of $1 a watt. The first team who gets there will ultimately receive $7 million, but after they do those first 5,000 installs, they have to do another 1,000 to prove that it's really a sustainable business model. The second place team will get $2 million, and the third place will receive $1 million.
Wow, great. Okay, so I did a little math on this. So 5,000 installs over 2 years came out to just over 6 installs a day if a team was to work 7 days a week for 2 years.
Right.
So that's a lot of installs. Can a one-man shop do this, or a small installation company?
Absolutely. Teams of smaller installers could absolutely win this prize. And we're hoping to see those types of formations form. We also did some math, and when you look at some of the larger installers, they're already doing more than 1,000 installations a day in a state like California. So this is certainly aggressive. Our price targets are aggressive, our deployment targets are aggressive, but we think it's achievable in this time frame.
Okay, great. And what if no one wins?
No one receives the funds. Goes back to Sunshot.
All right. Okay, so then now I want to talk to Sam. Sam has a very interesting product that he believes could actually win this challenge. But I'm going to have people go to his website, which I'll let him say, to see what that is. I really wanted Sam here to tell his story, because he's got a very interesting solar entrepreneur story. So why don't you go ahead and talk about how you got into solar.
Thanks for having me, Jen. I really appreciate it. It all basically started with adversity. It was a tough time in my life. I was unemployed. I had my hot water shut off, and to get some public assistance, they told me I had to go down to a church to get that assistance. When I walked into that building, there was a sign, a little piece of paper hanging on the wall that said, "Learn solar installation." I literally jumped on it, called the phone number. They selected me about a month later. There was about 25 people. I got into the class, and then when I was in the class, they had 10 panels, and I asked them, how do you remove the middle panel? And then from there, I developed a system, because if I was going to be a contractor, or if any homeowner needed to do the maintenance on the panels, they need to be able to remove any individual panel effortlessly. And then that's when I came up with Solar Clamp. It's basically a progressive system where whether it's one panel, 40 panels, it all can be done It's the most affordable, easiest to use, the fastest to use, and it's also the strongest system. From there, I just created the two companies, Arsenal Solar and Solar Clamp. If it wasn't for Obama's programs and his vision and his initiatives, I wouldn't be sitting here today. It was a great benefit for me, and I plan to just give solar back as affordable as possible to the public.
Great. So can you tell a little bit about your training? How long was it? How was it funded? Where did you go?
It was about 12 weeks. It was in North Philadelphia. It was sponsored by the Obama administration. They basically wanted to just push solar, the workforce initiative in America. And that's pretty much how we got into the training. And from there, it was just, building blocks of the solar, the nuts and bolts of it.
Right. And so how did you end up with your own company after just 12 weeks of training? That's pretty entrepreneurial.
Yeah, well, my family's always been, in their own business, so it was just something that I wanted to do. I just saw that I had an angle there. It took me a couple years to develop the mounting system, but now it's really starting to pay off.
Great. And how's business going so far?
It's great. My first month I had 3 installations. I got 4 installations pending when I get back. I plan on entering the SunShot. Hopefully I'll find maybe a team or a municipality to team up with, and I plan on winning it, hopefully. We'll see what happens.
Well, good luck. Do you think you can do 5,000 installations in 2 years?
I don't know how many people can do that, but we'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
Give it a shot.
Well, that's what it's all about, the SunShot. So here's your chance to ask Rachel any questions that you have as an installer, someone entering this. Do you have any questions?
Basically, I see 3 things that could help reduce the overall costs: permits, structural engineering reports, and the issue with transformers. If the permits could be more streamlined, I've had one township where they'll charge like $7 per panel. Another township, they'll do a percentage of the whole cost. I think if that comes down, and also if you eliminate the need for structural engineering reports, that would be huge. Mainly because it's like you have to go to somebody, pay them $650 just for them to tell you you can put solar on your own house. And that's just a little illogical for me. And between the permitting and the structural engineering report, that's about $1,000. So if you could reduce that, that would be really getting close to the $1 a watt or even $2 a watt with the hard costs.
And one thing we've been focusing on quite a bit with SunShot is cutting this red tape that you described through permitting. In the past year, we started our rooftop challenge, we call it, which supports 22 teams to standardize and streamline permitting in the areas where they work. In some cases, these are city teams. In some cases, these are statewide. And actually, Penn Future leads one of these teams in the state of Pennsylvania. And they should, by January 2013, their funding will be complete, and we should see a more streamlined process there. You'll have to tell us if it works.
I think also with the transformers, that's each transformer can only handle up to 20 kW. Who's going to pay for that? If between the utilities or the government can somehow subsidize that, that would actually make it more accessible for any other homeowner. Because if you get 2 installations on one transformer, that's pretty much maxed out. I know the installer's not going to want to pay for it, the next homeowner's not going to want to pay for it, and the utility's definitely not going to pay for it. So that's another issue that needs to be addressed.
And through this prize, we anticipate, though maybe not, that the utilities would join teams to address challenges like this in the areas where they operate.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that sounds like a very specific challenge. Working with the utility and the installer, but that's exactly what needs to happen. That's what we've been discussing at SPI this whole week. So, are there any questions out there from the audience before we sign off here? All right. Well, Rachel and Sam, thank you so much for coming out. I'm Jennifer Runyon from RenewableEnergyWorld.com at Solar Central on SPI's Day 2.